My name is Robbie Miguel D. Perez from BSHM 2B. Article 7, Final Provisions. Section 32, PNP Women and Children Desk. The Women and Children Desk now existing in all police stations shall act on and attend to all complaints covered under this Act. They shall coordinate with ASHE officers in the streets with regards in private on spaces open to the public, and anti-sexual harassment officers in government and private office or schools in the enforcement of the provisions of this Act. Section 33. Educational modules and awareness campaigns. The PCW shall take the lead in the national campaigns for the awareness of the law. The PCW shall work hand in hand with the DILG and duty-accredited women's groups to ensure all LGU participate in the sustained information campaigns and the DICT to ensure an online campaigns that reach a wide audience of the Philippine internet users. Campaign materials may include posters condemning different forms of gender-based sexual harassment, informing the public, and penalties for committing gender-based sexual harassment, and infographics of hardest numbers of the authorities. All schools shall educate students from the elementary and tertiary level about the provisions of this Act and how they can report cases and gender-based threats, public and spaces, and online sexual harassment committed against them. School courses shall include age-appropriate educational modules against gender-based threats, public spaces, and online sexual harassment, which shall be developed by the DepEd, the CHED, and the TESDA, and the PCW. Sector 34. Safe audits. LGU are required to conduct safety and audits every 3 years to assess the efficiency and effectively of the implementation of this Act within their jurisdictions. Such audits shall be multi-sectoral and participatory, with consultation undertaken with schools, police officers, and civil society organizations. Section 35. Appropriations. Such amounts as may be necessary for the implementation of this Act shall be indicated under the Annual Gender Appropriations Act. GAA national and local government agencies shall be authorized to utilize their mandatory gender and develop GAD budget as provided under Republic Act number 9710, otherwise known as the Magna Carta of Women. For this purpose, in addition, LGU may also use the mandatory 20% allocation of their annual international revenue allotments for local development projects as provided under Section 287 of Republic Act number 9160, otherwise known as the Local Government Code of 1991. Section 36. Prescriptive period. Any action arising from the violation of any of the provisions of this Act shall prescribe as follows. A. Offenses committed under Section 11 of this Act shall prescribe in 1 year. Offenses committed under Section 11 of this Act shall prescribe in 3 years. Offenses committed under Section 11 of this Act shall prescribe in 10 years. Offenses committed under Section 12 of this Act shall be imprescriptible end. E. Offenses committed under Section 16 and 21 of this shall Act prescribe in 5 years. Section 37. Joint Congressional Oversight Committee. There is a revive create a joint Congressional Oversight Committee for monitor the implementation of this Act and to review the implementing rules and regulations promulgated. The committee shall be composed of 5 U.S. senators and 5 representatives to be appointed by Senate President and the Speaker of the House and Representatives, respectively. The Oversight Committee shall be co-chaired by the chairperson of the Senate Committee of Women, Children, Family Relations, and Gender Equality, and the House Committee on the Women and Gender Equality. Section 38. Implementing Rules and Regulations. IRR. Within 90 days from the effectively of this act, the PCW as the lead agency in coordination with the DILG, the DSWD, the PNP and Commissions of the Human Rights, CHR, the DOH and the DOLE, the DepEd and the CHED, the DICT, the TESDA, the MMDA, the LTO, and at least 3 women's organizations active on the issues of gender-based violence shall formulate the implementing rules and regulations IRR of this act. Section 39. Separability Clause. If any provision of part hereof is held invalid and unconstitutional, the remaining provision not affected thereby shall remain valid and subsisting. Section 40. Repealing Clause. Any law, presidential degree of ensure executive order, letter of instructions, administrative other order, rule of regulation contrary to or consistent with the provision of this act hereby repealed, modified, or amended accordingly. Section 41. Effectivity. This act shall be take over 15 days after republication of the official Gazette or any 2 newspaper or general circulation in the Philippines.